What's going on, nomads, party people, and strangers everywhere across the internet? My name is V, you know, like the letter, and we're now gonna finally close off After Hours Saga. Sorry, kind of letting the hype train build back up. So this is just me going over the last 4 films I've seen in 2017 thus far. I'm probably gonna be going out later on in the week to go see the final movie I'm needing for my top 10 list coming out for the top 10 films of 2017 thing. Sorry, I just remembered a very funny joke. Anywho though, let us begin first with It Comes at Night. Now, It Comes at Night was a psychological horror film that I recently saw about a couple of months back, comparing to the other films I'll be talking to you guys about, where the whole main focus of it was a disease was carried out and a lot of the world populace was dying. Almost as if it was that big virus that was taking over in I Am Legend as well as in The Last of Us, without the whole zombification type of deal. And the whole entire story was around this mixed family trying to get along with this other mixed family, as if it was trying to instrument how the whole thing of what happens when society breaks down and what is the real evil. Is it a monster in the woods, or is it humanity's own dark ambitions and distorted whole ideals becoming the main focus? Now, I would say that would be a good process for it, because the idea of it does sound good, but the film was not. It was, quite frankly, very pandering, very idiotic, and very slow in paces where, if it was built properly, it could have been one of the best. Maybe Black Christmas good. Okay, maybe not Black Christmas good, but definitely in good territory. Like, fuck, I can't think of any good modern, horror movies that aren't shitty reboots. Ah, fuck it, let's just skip over the next one, because I'm now embarrassed. So the second film we're going to be talking about for now is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. As we all know, it's a sequel to the original Guardians of the Galaxy film that came out for Marvel and was a smash hit, with a lot of the things people loved about it, with Star-Lord being awesome, Rocket being hilarious, Groot being Groot, Gamora being spank bank for a lot of people that were just like, green vagina. And Drax being a show-stealing bastard. So everyone was just like, oh man, the sequel's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be great! And then when I see that and the first movie, I'm just like, was the hype really justified? I mean, it wasn't a bad film. It was not bad. Not It Comes at Night bad. No. Nothing of that proportion, no. But the hype around it just seemed unjustified, because it just seemed like a glorified Defenders meets the Avengers in space! As if it didn't really have a lot of substance or character or even real build-up to make you honestly care if these people lived or died before the Infinity Wars, because it just seemed a little played out. And I blame Marvel mostly for that, because their formula at this point has become so generic. I can see it coming a mile away about how they want to do things so that the protagonists win in the end. And that is by far the biggest issue that the Guardians of the Galaxy has, because it still is subjected to the normal formula that every Marvel has been having ever since 2012. And I'm tired of it. It makes every good film I want to say is good go to shit. And it makes me sad. Stop doing it, Marvel, please. I want to give you some credence. On the plus side, having Ego be the dad was way better a choice than having Star-Lord's real dad from the comics. Because then it would have been like a Star Wars ripoff, and then we're gonna have the Disney lawyers just try to fight off every single thing in the newspapers about that. And the second to last film that I'm going to be talking to you guys about for After Hours Saga, we're going to take a look at War of the Planet of the Apes. In the entire prequel trilogy that was setting up to the overall Planet of the Apes films that we all know and love, unless you count the Tim Burton films, because then it's just, do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you love it ironically? Are you a hipster? Do you hate yourself? Are you an AVGN fanboy that only hates the new stuff? Are you one of those dick-riding nostalgia critic ball ticklers that just says it's garbage? And then when I was trying to just skip that aside and just go into War of the Planet of the Apes, I was honestly very surprised. For a film involving Caesar's rise and fall, and then later creation of a world filled with nothing but talking apes to rule the planet because humanity is dying out slowly, it wasn't a bad interpretation about what it wanted to do to set the whole narrative, nor was it a bad way to end Caesar's story. And yes, if you guys haven't seen the film, spoiler alert for a movie that's already a couple of months old. This is the end of Caesar's story as it's embarking on a brand new journey that sets up the Planet of the Apes for what it truly will be, a society ran by primates, and with humanity becoming more and more docile and probably going to become the slaves that end up being subservient to the apes in general. It will be a very fantastic piece that kind of goes with this incredible piece of cinematic history that just happened on screen. And I don't say that lightly because this movie really did impress me in a lot of ways. From the acting, cinematography, the setups, the plot twist, how they had the main villains, whole motivations and whatnot, how they made Caesar way more likable after all the things that he's gone through and making his departure very heartfelt. That is very good cinematography techniques, and I really look forward to the sequel that comes out after this whole trilogy is done. And now, as you've just seen from the final film we're going to be talking about, it is a Korean psychological horror film. We begin with psychological horror and end with psychological horror, of a film simply titled Bluebeard. Now, I've recently seen this on my Netflix thing on today's recording session of December the 20th, and it really was a lot better than I expected. Little bit of backstory though for you guys. If you don't know the thing about Bluebeard, he's basically a guy that marries his wives and then murders them. So automatically you're kind of thinking, is it gonna be a guy that just marries a bunch of women and then just murders them? Oh my god. Oh god, is it gonna be terrifying as fuck? Oddly enough, it's a lot more complicated. It starts off with this one doctor that has a bit of a psychological imbalance, simply having a mysterious person that lives below him in a butcher shop, and over time there are a lot of these individuals that go missing, a lot of people trying to give misleading stories and having all these things go awry for himself, where it just kind of goes down a spiral about what is real, what isn't real. Is the butcher the killer? Is the doctor the killer? Why are all these characters doing misleading things that kind of go into a distorted narrative? It kind of gets into your head about what is or what isn't going to be the main factor, and I've always loved that about Korean films. Even though I've always been scarred by Oldboy, for obvious fucking reasons, if you guys haven't seen that episode of After Hours Review Retro Night. Ooh. Anywho, the way it was set up was just like, are you seeing what this is? It comes at night. This is what you do to set up a psychological horror. Do the thing instead of not doing the thing. Don't be a bitch and only be congruent with your plot. Don't be half-assed. Don't make a muddled story. But I've shit on It Comes at Night long enough. This is all the stuff I've been doing for you guys involving these things. So, what's next? Well, the next time I'll be recording stuff will be during the holidays after a thing that happens every year. So the next video you guys are going to be getting from me will be the top 10 films and the top 7 most interesting songs of 2017. So look forward to those, look forward to some more stuff coming out, and I'll see you guys then. So be cool, stay stylish, and I'll see you all later.
You crazy mother.
What's good? You can tell me what's good. You can tell me what's good. You tell me what's good. What's good with your show? What's good with your